me through how you found out about the call-up and what was going through your mind once that news came in.
Yeah, honestly, I was in the ice bath, and we just finished training, and I saw an email pop up, and yeah, I was so excited, and it's always been a dream of mine, to represent my country. So, yeah, it was amazing to receive that email and reading it out. Just called my family and friends, and yeah, it was such a surreal moment for me.
We've just spoken to Tom Samani where he's talked about with 36 players, some players will come into camp in Queensland, other will join them in Victoria. There's going to be a bit of mixing and matching. Do you know when you'll join up with the group?
Yeah, so I'll be in there for the 2nd of December. We'll join the group. So that's really exciting. We'll play 2 games in Melbourne and then the Geelong one as well. So that's really exciting.
And what do you think, like, what has led up to this moment, do you think, in your mind? You've obviously been plugging away, you've been working hard, you've been improving your game. What are some of the things that you think have been most critical for you to hit milestones for levels in your game to reach that has got you this call up?
Yeah, like everyone, like been working really hard in the off season as well. Especially been working with a gym guy here at City. Like the support I have here is incredible, from coaches, the S&Cs, my physios, like the resources around me is just incredible. So the off season for me was massive, like working on like gym and like my weaknesses to bring them into the game, and then with all of that, like builds your confidence. And I'm just feeling really confident this year. So I think all of that has just contributed to it.
And when you get into camp, obviously everybody wants to go out there. You want to play 180 minutes in both games that you're available for, but obviously sometimes that's not possible. What are some of the things that you'll be really hoping to show once you actually get into camp to make sure that there's not a long time between your first camp and your second camp?
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, we just love to learn. Love to learn off the players there. Like a lot of them, my role models, and the way they play is incredible. So I want to learn as much as I can and gain that experience to hopefully make and push for future camps for sure.
Because we have heard so often from those, both in the Matildas camp and elsewhere in the international game, about how when you do get to the international level, not just in games, but in training, the intensity goes up, the speed goes up, the time to react gets shorter. Is that something, is that a challenge that you relish? Is that something that you're maybe a bit nervous about? How do you feel about facing something like that?
Yeah, I'm excited, to be honest. I love a challenge and I feel ready for it. I've wanted this for a while now, so I want to push myself, and I'm ready for that challenge. I know it's going to be a step up. Of course, it's the Matildas, but yeah, I'm ready for it, and I'm excited.
Because you've been plugging away now at Melbourne City for a few years, and I remember speaking with Rado about you all those years ago about how he believed in you and what you could achieve. Just what's your journey been like there at Melbourne City to get to this point?
Yeah, yeah. This is my 5th season now at Melbourne City, so it's been a bit of a journey. But I've enjoyed every single second of it. Different seasons have like brought like a lot of positives, and then I obviously had a major injury the 2023 season. So that was a bit of a challenge, but overcoming that has just made me become even more confident. But I've loved every single season here. Yeah.
And you've got a few veteran teammates in there that are well acquainted with the international game. Will you be going to them for any tips and tricks before you head into camp?
Yeah, I think so. I think like the likes of Stoddy and like have experienced all of this from the Olympics to World Cups. So I definitely will be asking for advice from a couple of them.
Because a lot's been made of sort of the generational change that we've seen of Melbourne City, how they've gone from being this Death Star of Matildas and internationals to more a hotbed of youth talent. But how valuable for you as one of these young talents coming through has been the presence of players like Stoddy, like Bubs, that you've been able to watch and learn off and learn what are the requirements to be a top-class international and top-class pro?
Yeah, it's like massive value. Being at this club and the players that we bring in, the internationals, the like you said, the Bubs, the Stoddies is just incredible. Like playing with these these people is just invaluable. Like the amount of stuff I learned from Stoddy and on and off the pitch, and Bubs obviously is just a bit of a hero in the game. So yeah, it's amazing to take the field with these players, and I think Melbourne City bring in such good players, so you can build, and it's always competitive. So yeah, it's massive.
And obviously, your game has come on leaps and bounds at Melbourne City. But when you did get the call up and found out that you're about to become a Matilda, did you start thinking about any junior coaches or anyone who's been important to you on the journey? A young Leah that helped put you on this path to begin with?
To be honest, I kind of just reflected on my journey at City. I think last year for me was a bit of a challenge and coming over that. But yeah, I kind of just reflected on my journey at City because that has just really increased my skills and my confidence. The likes of Dario and Rado and now Michael, and all the resources around me here, I think it's so professional that this has made me like get this call up for sure.
Mm-hmm. And Melbourne City, you've obviously started the season pretty well with 2 wins on the bounce, but you also had the Asian Champions League campaign as well before the season. How valuable do you reckon those extra competitive fixtures were for you to press a case?
Yeah, I think it was really valuable. I think they were quite different teams playing in Asia. So it was different to what we come up against in the A-Leagues. But I think it was so valuable to have that longer time with our team, to gel as a team, and obviously new players coming in. So getting that connection on the field, I think, was so valuable to have before our first game in the A-League.
Mm-hmm. And the A-League season, as I said, it has started well, and there's going to be lots of eyeballs on you as the defending premiers, but also having lost your coach, new coach comes in. How do you think the side has settled into the new campaign, and do you think it's only onwards and upwards from what is already a pretty good start?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think this weekend is going to be a big weekend against Central Coast. We know that they're very competitive and they were good last season, and watching their games, they're going to be great. But we focus on us kind of every weekend, and yeah, like you said, it's been positive so far. We just need to tidy up a few things. But yeah, really looking forward to this weekend, and I think it's, like you said, only upwards from here.
Because it's the first season in quite a while where a bloke named Vidicic isn't in charge of the side. What are some of the differences that Michael's brought to the unit?
Yeah, for sure. I think there is some differences in between the coaches, but also a lot of similarities. Like, we don't change our philosophy here at City. We want to play the same way. We're a possession team. Everyone knows that. So we're not going to shy away from that, which is exciting because we were very successful last year. So I don't think we had much to change. We just want to keep growing and keep pushing our players individually and as a team. But yeah, to Michael's credit, like, he's stepped in here and it's been very smoothly operated. So yeah, it's been an amazing transition.
Do you think that's aided your development? Like you said, you've been there for 5 years and you're playing for a team that doesn't just sit in a block and try to transition. You actually want to do stuff with the ball. Has that been valuable for your development?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. Sometimes it's scary, but we never shy away from, we want the ball, we want to create chances. Yeah, I think that has definitely increased me as a player for sure.